What up, y'all? So this season opener of House of the Dragon, it really gave me some mixed feelings. Like, I feel like they did a lot of things really good, and there was a couple things I was kind of let down in, but other than that, great start for the show, great start for the season. Let's get into the recap. Oh, and for everybody that's new here, I just want to let you know, this is a Auntie Rhaenys fan page. I got my, let me show y'all my shirt. I am all for Team Valerian, okay? Point blank, period. But yo, let's get into the recap. All right, so the show opens up in Winterfell, and man, it feels so good to be back home. Back where it all started for us non-book readers. So, Jace has made it to his destination, and he's meeting with Lord Cregan Stark, and he's trying to make sure that when the war pops off, the Starks are going to be riding with him and his family. All right, so for y'all Game of Thrones watchers, Cregan Stark is Ned Stark great-great-great-great-grandfather. So Cregan is telling the story about how the Night's Watch is selected. So we know in Game of Thrones, the Night's Watch was mostly like criminals and volunteers. Cregan is like his Night's Watchmen are made up of men with honor. He's like they have to do some sort of raffle to decide who comes out of each family to come represent them. Child, I'm glad to be a woman because back then, no ma'am, not my kind of job. Anyway, Cregan is like, winter is coming and the Starks have to be ready. And Jace is like, what y'all got to be ready for? Ain't nothing out here but snow. Cregan is like, nah, my boy, it's death out there. Jace was like, okay. Anyway, ain't it pretty cool that we're linking up just like our ancestors did? And Cregan was like, yeah, but your ancestor threatened mine with a dragon. Jace was like, war is coming and your people committed an oath to honor my mom, and I'm just checking to see if y'all are still down. Cregan is like, look, a Stark never forgets their oath, but I need all my men here at the wall, my boy. He was like, look, you can get some of my OG soldiers. He called them the Greybeards. He was like, you can get some of them. Jace was like, so you sending me old men? I'm looking at Jace like, take them OGs. You know them old men be ready to fight and will die about their oath. Y'all know how it is when middle-aged men who just got out of jail, they be cock strong like old boy on baby boy when he yoked Tyrese up. Yeah, Jace, you need to take them old beards. They gonna be ready to rock with you. Then Cregan gets a raven with the news of Luke. Lord, Luke, they done took the baby, y'all. Then we get to Dragonstone and we get that wonderful shot of my Auntie Rhaenys riding Melees. This is my girl. Like I said, this is a Rhaenys stan page. Anyway, Daemon is like, get back on your dragon. We going to King's Landing to kill Vhagar. And Rhaenys was like, boy, I'm tired. My dragon tired. We hungry. I ain't finna play these games with you, Daemon. I am going to lay down. We not going to do nothing to Vhagar. Did Rhaenyra tell us to go do that? And Daemon was like, look, she been out moping around. I can't keep walking around this castle waiting on her. Rhaenys was like, little boy, just chill. She wants to get closure. Let her do her thing. Plus, when my daughter died, your wife, I only received closure when I saw her body. So let her enjoy her bereavement time from work. That gives her enough time to think things through and not make vengeful acts like some of y'all crazy men. Daemon was like, well, if you would have handled business when you had the chance, we wouldn't even be here right now. So pause. I told y'all, I ride for Rhaenys. And yes, in a different world, yeah, maybe Rhaenys could have just burnt up the whole Hightower lineage. But my auntie was like, this ain't my war to start. She had just lost 2 kids herself. So I think that motherly instinct kicked in like, damn, I really don't want to have to kill these kids. I just lost my kids. And she did not want to be known as a kingslayer or a kinslayer. There are certain things that Daemon can do recklessly and get away with it because of his connection to Viserys. Same with Rhaenyra. Y'all know in season 1, she was able to, do outlandish stuff and be okay. Rhaenys doesn't have the luxury of just killing the whole family right after the king died. She could have been put on trial or in prison because what if she did that and then Rhaenyra gets mad like, yo, why you kill my brothers? Plus, she's the queen that never was. Y'all had a chance to put her on the throne. She's probably like, I'm not about to burn these people up. This ain't my battle. If y'all would have put me on the throne, we wouldn't be here right now because Laenor would have been my heir. But since I'm the queen that never was, I'm never wasn't my ass up out of King's Landing, and I'm gonna let y'all handle it. So my auntie made the right call last season by not pulling the trigger. All right, then Daemon was like, hey cousin, you gonna fly with me? That's a demand. And Rhaenys was like, you're not a king. I do not listen to you. I'm going to lay down. Hey yo, that's why Rhaenys is my favorite, because she say what she gotta say. She move on. She don't be playing games with people. And Daemon couldn't even do nothing to her but let her walk off. Rhaenys be reading their ass. Y'all remember when she told Rhaenyra, Riri, that before they let a woman sit on the Iron Throne, they'll tear this world apart. Hence the plot for the next 3 seasons. All right, so then we jump over to Riri. Lord, she just looking for baby Luke, but she can't find him. Then we bounce over to Corlys and his crew. Now, baby, Uncle Corlys is down bad. He is limping. Look like he done lost a little weight. He is looking a little feeble. I'm like, what is going on, Corlys? Then we meet Alyn of Hull. Now, y'all know this is a spoiler review, but Corlys, sir,
you are.
I'm just saying. Anyway, Corlys is like, the gullet is big and my ship needs to be ready to lead the war on water. Alyn was like, bro, this ship ain't gonna be ready for weeks, but I'll holler at my brother to see if there's anything we can do to pick up the pace. Then he pulls out the dagger that Corlys had made for Luke. Y'all remember, Luke was his grandson and he was supposed to take over Driftmark, where Corlys' family is from. He was going to be the heir to their throne. So Uncle Corlys got a little sad, and then he was like, hey, they told me you was the one who dragged my body out of the sea. Alyn was like, man, I'm just doing my job. Corlys was like, hey, I owe you my life. Now, this whole interaction here tells me Corlys doesn't really know who Alyn is, but Alyn may know who Corlys is. And we should find out more later in the season, but if you go back and watch the episode, pay attention to Alyn's body language. Then we jump to King's Landing and we see one of the twins. Remember, his brother fled and went to go be on Rhaenyra's side. So him and his brother are essentially enemies at this point. One is on the green side, the other one is on the black side. So they see a dragon in the sky and they immediately go into panic mode. Bitch, the kingdom is on high alert because they know they were wrong for what they did. One, Viserys passed away and y'all still ain't sent a raven and told Rhaenyra that her daddy has passed. Y'all didn't even have the decency to inform her of a funeral. Y'all snuck and took her throne. Y'all done been the reason 2 of her kids has passed. So yes, King's Landing is on high alert right now because they have been doing some foul things. But luckily for them, it was just Aemond on Vhagar. Now, we do get a good look at the weapon, the Scorpion. Now, this is a little bit of a retcon because in Game of Thrones, they made it seem like Qyburn invented the Scorpion, but obviously these things have been around for a minute. Anyway, it was just Aemond getting off of Vhagar. Now, this was a missed moment for me. I feel like, and this might be me just nitpicking, I feel like we should have been able to see how Aemond delivered the news to Alicent and Otto as far as him killing Luke. I wanted to see if he went in there and said, hey, it was just an accident, or if he just owned what he did. I wanted to see if he was like, look, I did what I did. It is what it is. So when I saw Vhagar, I was like, oh, okay, maybe they're about to do a flashback scene so we can see how Aemond delivered the news. But obviously they was like, nah, y'all ain't got to see it. So I was a little disappointed in that. So then we flash over to Haelna and the kids. And if you pay attention to the scene, she's knitting a blanket. So here's a little Easter egg. The blanket she's knitting is literally going to cover her child for his funeral. So Aegon walks in like, hey, yo, where my little boy at? And she was like, he's studying, like, leave him alone. He's like, nah, he gonna be king. I need him in the council meeting with me. She was like, well, what if he don't want to be king? Aegon was like, girl, I'm not playing with you. Where's he at? And Haelna was like, look, I'm scared. I am scared of the rats. Aegon was like, what the you talking about? I don't see no rats. He was like, y'all, my wife, the queen, she be a little off sometimes. Y'all just ignore her. You know what? Haelna need to pack her shit up and go be with her sister Rhaenyra because she will be appreciated over there. Haelna can literally predict the future. She is a dragon dreamer, and y'all just ignore her. She don't speak much, but when she speak, she be on point. So she predicted Aemond would lose an eye. She predicted Rhaenys would burst through them boards, and she just said everybody need to be afraid of the rats, and nobody listened. So then we bounce over to Alicent and Criston, Kevin Samuels, I Hate Women Cole. They up there getting busy in broad daylight. I was like, not Mrs. Perfect Alicent. Mrs. I always follow the rules in here getting her cat touched on. less than a month after your husband died. And the way they was getting down made me feel like y'all been doing this, like y'all been creeping around. Then she gonna have the nerve to say, well, Criston, we can't do this anymore while helping him put on his armor. I am so disgusted looking at you two. Because why you sleeping with your ex-best friend, Boo?
Bitch, I'll fuck your man in his mouth right in your house where you laying it and your baby.
And Crispy Chicken Cole, why you sleeping with your boo ex-best friend? Like, y'all are some capital haters. I am so mad at Alicent. You went from doing OnlyFans and showing your feet to Lord Littlefoot to now you are fully outside on Pornhub with Cranky Criston Cole. I am so disappointed. Then we get a quick glimpse of Cheese, the rat catcher, who's going to be responsible for the incident that takes place at the end. So Aegon jogs into the council, puts his son at the table, and I ain't even gonna flex. I started to like Aegon a little bit. He was just so happy to have his kid present. So the meeting starts, and they're like, the Vale and the Starks, they not responding to us at all. We reached out to see if they would join our side, but we do got the Baratheons and the Stormlands. So if y'all remember from season 1, this was the house Aemond met up with when he agreed to marry their daughter last season, before he decided to let his dragon eat his own nephew. So they like, look, we got them locked in. And they was like, we also got the people from Old Town. That's where the High Towers come from. And then Alicent was like, well, have y'all heard from Riri? And the dude was like, you killed her son. You think she gonna send a raven back and say thanks? The fuck? By then, Aegon's son, Jaehaerys, is down there rolling the damn ball and aggravating Tylan. Listen, if Tylan is anything like his Lannister descendants, then you know he probably don't have time to play with no damn kids. They'll get rid of a kid quick. Aegon was like, hey, is my boy down there bothering you? He was like, nah. Aegon was like, well, you can take him for a pony ride if he aggravating you. Tylan was looking like, man, what the hell going on? Ain't got time to play with this kid. Alicent was like, Aegon, get this little boy out of here and pay attention. We got to get this together. Otto was like, look, Corlys is setting up shop on the water, and eventually they're going to be able to stop our food, weapons, and everything from coming into King's Landing. The black dude, the maester, what's his name, y'all? I can't remember. Anyway, the maester was like, y'all are going to have to get a Navy commander soon. Maybe we can offer it to Lord Greyjoy. Yo, it just feels so good hearing all these old names and knowing we have a connection to them in Game of Thrones. So in walks Michael Myers, aka the Temu Fashion Nova Daemon. Aemond walks in and Alicent is pissed, like, you ain't got no business in this meeting. Now, Aemond was wrong for killing Luke, dead wrong, but why wouldn't you have him in the council meeting? He's obviously going to be one of y'all soldiers. Hell, maybe even a general. He needs to be in all the plans. But this also goes back to what I was saying about Rhaenys. She did not want to be a kinslayer. Right now, everybody is looking at Aemond like, you a kinslayer. So he kind of got like a little scarlet letter on him. So Alicent is like, you ain't got no business in here. Alicent was like, you need to get out. Aemond was like, girl, please, the king called me in. I ain't going nowhere. These kids don't respect nobody. They out of control. Aemond was like, look, if Riri and her army are marching towards King's Landing for the war, they got to go through the Riverlands. So somebody needs to go to Harrenhal and make sure they bend the knee and take our side. If we get Harrenhal, they not making it to King's Landing. Aegon was like, bruh, I got dragons. Let's just go get in the field and take all these houses. Alicent was like, listen, chill. Don't get dragon happy. We ain't got but 3 dragons. Aegon was like, bro, we got the biggest dragons in the city. Then Alicent gonna look at Crispy Cole and giving him the look like, you need to back me up. So Cole was like, King Aegon, we don't really need you on the front line like that. Otto was like, listen, everybody calm down and just chill and be patient. Aegon, don't get too hyped. Let's play this the smart way. We don't have to be all trigger happy. Then we get to see 1-foot Magoo Lord Larys, and he was like, girl, I've been looking for you, but your maiden say you was busy. And he's giving her the eye like, bitch, I know your secrets. Don't get too fly with me. So Lord Littlefoot was like, listen, I've been questioning people on the staff to see like who's on our side and who we can't trust. And the untrustworthy ones, I done murked them all. They gone. I'll hire you a whole new staff. I'd have been like, excuse me, sir, I can hire my own staff. I don't need your little snitches around me, Lord Legofoot, but she ain't got no backbone, so this will undoubtedly become a disaster. So we jump over to Riri, and Lord, they done found the dragon and the cake to Luke. Oh, boy, Luke. So another fun fact, her dragon, Cyrax, is the mother to Luke's dragon. So Cyrax lost a child and Riri lost a child, and Lord, it's just a disaster. Cyrax is hollering in the background, just heartache. Back at King's Landing, Aegon sits before the small folk and he's taking requests and he's really trying to help the people. And his hating ass daddy Otto was like, listen, you can't be nice to all these people. Now, we also get to catch a glimpse of Hugh Hammer. So Hugh may be important later on because, as you can see, he pretty much stood before Aegon and was like, listen, we don't mind making y'all weapons and stuff. We just need to get paid first. Y'all kind of paying us late and we got to eat. We got families too. Aegon was like, you know what? You right. I do need y'all to make weapons. We're going to pay y'all and we're going to pay y'all well. Otto was like, oh my God, this boy is crazy. Then we see Lord Larys again, like, Aegon, can I holler at you for a second? He was like, listen, your granddaddy has served for 3 different kings, and he tries to control them all. You don't want to be known as the king who's controlled by his granddaddy, do you? And Aegon was looking like, you right. So Lord Larys is trying to create division in the house already, and you can't trust him. This man burned up his own brother. He don't care about nobody. If he'll tear his own family apart, he'll definitely rip y'all to shreds. So he's sowing his seeds very effortlessly. Nobody's paying attention. I don't know why nobody can't see he's a weasel. He's such a shyster. So Otto and Alicent have a little meet and greet, and Alicent is like, look, I don't need you undermining me in front of my sons. We are supposed to be a united front. We need to be working together so we can keep Aegon and Aemond under control. Now, Alicent, I don't even think she realized it, but she's acting just like her whack father in this very moment. The same way Otto manipulated and controlled her for the throne, she's doing the same thing to her kids. She don't even realize it. But Otto is like, look, I know you think war is an easy thing, but violence is ahead. And she was like, well, maybe it doesn't have to be like crazy violent. And Otto was like, Lord, I done raised the damn fool. She crazy as hell. They find Mysaria, the white worm, aboard a ship and took her to Daemon, and he is pissed off. Y'all know that's his ex, boo. So he's like, you out here working with the enemy? And she was like, you met me in a whorehouse. I work for whoever pays. My loyalty is myself, sir. Daemon was like, lock her up. She trash.
Cancel that bitch.
One of the twins was like, hey, yo, Daemon, she ain't no traitor. Daemon was like, what does it matter to you? He's like, look, listen, I'm just for honor and for what's right. Daemon was like, well, was it right for you to sit and watch the Hightowers take over the throne? And he was like, look, my job is to protect the royal family. All of y'all are family. All of y'all was fighting. What was I supposed to do? I can't kill the family I'm supposed to protect. Daemon was like, I don't care about you or your twin. Y'all are trash. He was like, nah, man. I left my brother to come ride with y'all. Don't come at me like that, because I'm loyal to Riri and Viserys. At this point, Daemon is just going crazy because he's been in that castle for days and he can't really make any moves because Riri is the king and he can't overstep her because, I mean, if he did overstep her, he would be doing the same thing that the Hightowers are doing. So he's just losing his mind because he's ready to go to war. Daemon is war ready. So since he can't make no moves, he's snapping at everybody. He done snapped at Rhaenys. He done snapped at the White Worm. And now he's snapping at the twin. His ADHD is just kicking in real bad right now. So Riri walks in looking like Wanda Maximoff. And Daemon is like, listen, did you find what you needed? Because I'm on go. All right, now, this scene was beautifully written, beautifully shot. The way the camera just follows through the table. Daemon is like, look, I'm ready to go to Harrenhal right now. Remember, Harrenhal is what Aemond was talking about earlier at their council. He said Harrenhal is the key to King's Landing. Also, keep in mind, Lord Larys was the heir to Harrenhal. Since he's in King's Landing, his uncle, Simon Strong, is holding the fort down for Larys at Harrenhal. So Daemon is like, look, I'm ready to go take Harrenhal right now. They gonna bend the knee. My auntie Rhaenys is like, the water is on lock. My husband got it straight out there. And Rhaenyra was like, all that is cool, but I want Aemond right now. Point blank, period. Daemon is like, this is what I've been waiting on. Finally, some action. Now, y'all, this next scene really broke me down. I'm talking about I was hurt on the inside. In walks Jace. And he's trying to stand tall. And he's like, I got the veil. They just want a dragon. I got the north. Cregan is locked in. He's sending us 2,000 men. And then he just broke down. Lord, he just broke down crying. I was hurt because he was trying to stand tall, but the reality of war hits. He lost his brother, and he could shoulder some of that blame because he was so eager last season. He was like, send us to be the messengers. We're ready. And if y'all remember last season, Luke was like, who is we? Bitch, I don't want to go. So Luke already ain't want to go do the job anyway, but he went and he held it down. So then we jump to his funeral and everybody is sad. And then we get this good shot of Rhaenyra. We got to remember, that was her husband-to-be. Luke held it down because he told Lord Baratheon last season, I can't be with your daughter. I already got a woman back home. So then that left the door open for Aemond to go and attack him with his dragon. So then we jump back to King's Landing and Daemon is sneaking in with his Grim Reaper hoodie on. And y'all have to remember, Daemon used to lead the Gold Cloaks. They was his boys. So he gets to the gates and he sees one of the homie Gold Cloaks and he was like, I heard you don't rock with the high towers. He was like, hell no, I don't rock with them. So all this information about the guards hating on the high towers, the rat catcher came directly from the White Worm. Now, these two, they're considered blood and cheese in the book. So Daemon is like, listen, I want you to break in, get Aemond, and we're going to pay you. Cheese was like, well, what if we can't find Aemond? You know how he be moving? Daemon gives them this look like, don't leave there empty. Blood and Cheese was like,
I'm leaving here with something. You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
So I saw a lot of people on the internet was like, he told them to get Aemond. Why did they mess with the baby boy Jaehaerys? Y'all have to catch this look that Daemon gives them. Daemon obviously tells them a son for a son. Get me a son up out of there. Because later in the episode, Blood and Cheese say that. They was like, bruh, Daemon just said a son for a son. So then we catch a glimpse of Sir Criston Cole and Aemond war planning. Aemond was like, they down there sending ravens, and we need to be making moves with you leading and me following with Vhagar. Criston was like, well, there's a few little castles we can take. Maybe Aegon will let me and you go solo dolo. And Aemond was like, look, Aegon is too busy listening to my mama and granddaddy. He ain't ready to shake nothing. And my mama is mad at me because she blaming me for starting the war, but she ain't realizing that the war started when she plotted to usurp the throne. So my mama is a hypocrite. And then the camera pans over to Criston Cole because he knows she's a hypocrite because he's one too. Cole was like, listen, your mama got a good heart. But your sister Rhaenyra, she is a black widow spider. She has taken your mother's heart. And Aemond was like, man, all that. She got a heart for the enemy. She's foolish. I told y'all earlier, these kids are out of control. By then, the worst father of the year, Otto, walks in like, what y'all doing down here? I know y'all ain't planning no war behind my back.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
He was like, listen, Aemond, I know you ready to go to war, but chill out. We got other moving pieces on the board. Y'all got to slow y'all horses. Aemond was looking like, sir, whatever. Y'all sitting down there talking and playing. We need to be preparing. Then we catch Blood and Cheese on their mission. At first, I was like, why the hell are they taking a dog with them? Then I realized Cheese is the rat catcher, so he always has the dog when he's working in the castle. So bringing the dog along would be a slight cover for him because whenever anybody would see him, they'd be like, oh, that's just Cheese and the dog. Folks are used to seeing him walking around the castle with the dog because he's the rat catcher. That's why when we got a glimpse of Aegon drunk self sitting on the throne with his friends, getting tipsy, Blood and Cheese walked right by him and the guards and nobody budged. Nobody noticed or said a thing because they're used to seeing Cheese with the dog. So after they walked by the guards and Aegon, Blood and Cheese, Beavis and Butthead end up getting lost trying to find Aemond's room. So they eventually find Haelna and Blood is like, man, who is this? Cheese is like, bitch, we got the queen. He's like, she got a son. Daemon just wants a son. So both babies are twins, so they look alike. So Cheese was like, listen, which one is the son? And child Haelna was like, there you go right there. You can take him. Take him. And I tell y'all, Haelna made an executive decision and was like, get the boy. He probably gonna grow up and be just like his daddy, just like his uncle, just like his granddaddy. Y'all take him. My good sis grabs her daughter and you can tell when she runs out, she's looking around for guards and help and nobody is in place. She's like, what the f***? Ain't nobody around. So she was like, Lord, let me go find my mama. and she walks right in on her mama, hunching and bumpkin on crispy chicken Cole. So a few people was like, yo, that's impossible. There's no way that guards wouldn't be around. Y'all got to remember, the guards were down there protecting the king. And then Cole, who probably should have been guarding her room, was too busy humping on her mama. He probably also sent all the guards away so he could creep peacefully with Alicent without, being suspected of anything. Like, dang, why Crispy Cole in the room so long with Alicent? So he probably cleared that floor. Now, a lot of people also felt like Haelna didn't show enough emotion. I feel like she kind of already knew this was going to happen to her son, because she said earlier in the episode, like, I'm scared of rats. Plus, she was also in shock. When traumatic things happen, some people literally go into shock and freeze. Like, some people completely mentally remove themselves from the scenes like it's a dream. I know this for a fact because I've been involved in some situations and I can feel myself like not present mentally. Like it's really like an out-of-body experience. It's like, damn, I don't know what's going on. So I can understand why she just froze there. Now, my issue with the blood and cheese situation is I think the writers did a poor job of really setting this up. I feel like they should have started to establish his relationship with his son a little bit earlier last season. So when this situation happens, the audience can feel more connected. I think the writers felt like, well, it's a kid, so people will automatically be emotionally invested. But honestly, I got mad when they kicked the dog. I was like, yo, what the dog do to you? So I missed out on that emotional beat of really like feeling sorry for the kid. Like, of course I feel sorry as a kid, but I think the scene could have been more impactful if we were able to develop a relationship with Aegon and his son together to really feel like, oh, this is going to be bad. Plus, the blood and cheese scene in the book was so much more detailed, not just graphically, but the layers of emotion Haelna felt. She was way more passionate in the book about the situation. She fought for her child. In this version, she was like, here you go, y'all can have him. Now, killing Aegon's only son literally puts them in the same situation as Rhaenyra. Aegon's only heir is his daughter, and his brother, Aemond, just like Daemon, thinks he deserves the throne instead. So yeah, man, the universe is crazy how it works sometimes. But yo, leave your comments below. Tell me how you felt about the season opener. I'm so excited for the next episode because Aegon gonna lose his mind. He's gonna go crazy. Not only that, Rhaenyra, she gonna be a little mad at Daemon because she gonna feel like he did a side mission without her permission. But thanks for hanging out with me. Leave your comments below. Peace.